In the movie Jason X, the notorious killer Jason Voorhees is finally captured by the US government and held at the Crystal Lake Research Facility, where scientist Dr. Rowan LaFontaine plans to stop him for good by placing him in cryogenic stasis. After every attempt to kill him fails. However, the greedy Dr. Wimmer interrupts the procedure, hoping to profit from studying Jason's incredible regenerative abilities. Before they can proceed, Jason escapes, brutally slaughtering the soldiers and scientists sent to contain him. As chaos erupts, Sergeant Marcus urges Rowan to flee, but Jason relentlessly pursues her through the facility. Thinking fast, Rowan lures Jason into the cryogenic chamber and shoots him into the pod, successfully trapping him inside. Just when she believes the nightmare is over, Jason thrusts his machete through the pod, stabbing Rowan and rupturing the chamber. The containment breach triggers an emergency lockdown, and as freezing cryogenic fluid floods the room, both Rowan and Jason are frozen together in suspended animation. Over 400 years in the future, Earth has become too polluted to sustain life, forcing humanity to relocate to a new planet called Earth-2. During a field trip back to the abandoned Crystal Lake Research Facility, Professor Lowe and his students discover the frozen bodies of Dr. Rowan and Jason Voorhees. Believing Jason's preserved body could be valuable for research and museums, Lowe orders both bodies transported onto their spaceship with the help of the android KM-14. While recovering Jason, student Azrael accidentally loses his arm to Jason's machete, but advanced nanotechnology quickly reattaches it aboard the ship. In separate labs, the crew studies Jason while Rowan is revived using the same futuristic technology. Disoriented after awakening, Rowan immediately asks whether Jason was contained, only to learn from Lowe that she has been frozen for more than 4 centuries and that the year is now 2455, leaving her shocked and struggling to process the unimaginable future around her. If you are enjoying this recap, don't forget to like the video. Aboard the Grindel, Professor Lowe reassures Dr. Rowan that she is safe, but secretly contacts Dieter Perez to profit from the discovery of Jason. While Rowan shares how greed caused the original disaster, intern Adrian examines Jason's body and accidentally revives him after removing his mask. Jason brutally kills her by freezing her face with liquid nitrogen and smashing it against a counter before taking a new machete and disappearing into the ship. Later, Rowan is horrified when Waylander reveals Jason's machete, making her realize Lowe secretly brought Jason aboard the Grendel and that the nightmare is about to begin again. Professor Lowe refuses to believe Jason is alive, but Dr. Rowan proves him wrong when they discover Adrian's mutilated body in Lab 2. Realizing a hostile killer is loose on the Grendel, Sergeant Brodsky orders a full lockdown and sends his soldiers to arm themselves, though Lowe secretly tries to bribe him into keeping Jason alive for profit. Meanwhile, Jason continues his rampage across the ship, brutally murdering Stoney, Azrael, and Dallas with ease while surviving gunfire without slowing down. As terrified soldiers follow a trail of blood through the cargo bay, Engineer Crutch narrowly escapes death when the team arrives just in time to open fire on Jason, only to discover moments later that the unstoppable killer has somehow vanished again. While searching the Grindel, Sergeant Brodsky sends his soldiers to hunt down Jason, but splitting up only makes them easy targets. Jason silently snaps one soldier's neck and brutally slits a female soldier's throat before killing the man trying to save her. One surviving soldier finally manages to unload his weapon into Jason, sending the killer crashing onto a large hook and suspending him in the air. Believing Jason is finally defeated, the crew in Lab 1 celebrates with relief. But Brodsky warns the soldier not to take his eyes off the killer. The warning comes too late, as Jason suddenly frees himself from the hook and viciously slices the overconfident soldier in half. Hearing the dying soldier's screams over the speakers, Dr. Rowan and the remaining survivors realize Jason is still alive. Meanwhile, Sergeant Brodsky discovers the last soldier's body hanging in the cargo bay before Jason suddenly attacks him through a wall, overpowering and brutally stabbing him multiple times. With Brodsky seemingly dead, only Rowan, Professor Lowe, Crutch, and the students remain alive aboard the Grendel. As panic spreads, Pilot Lou activates the ship's hyperdrive and contacts Solaris Station for emergency military support. But before he can explain the situation, Jason kills him as well. Without a pilot, the Grendel flies out of control and crashes directly into Solaris Station, causing massive destruction. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications before watching ahead. After the Grendel crashes into Solaris Station, panic spreads among the remaining survivors as Sunaran sends out a distress beacon before the damaged ship systems begin failing. Professor Lowe tries to calm everyone down, but the situation worsens when Jason begins smashing against the lab door. Moments later, Jason suddenly breaks through the glass wall from Lab 2, forcing everyone to flee and leaving Lowe alone with the killer. Desperate to save himself, Lowe foolishly offers Jason fame and fortune, but Jason silently grabs his old machete and brutally kills him instead. With no time left, Dr. Rowan and the survivors quickly form an escape plan using the ship's shuttle, splitting into groups to prepare the launch and gather supplies, while Jason continues hunting them through the ship. While heading to the shuttle, Dr. Rowan discovers that Sergeant Brodsky is somehow still alive and sends the others ahead while she looks for help. As Waylander and Crutch arrive at the bridge, Jason strikes again, brutally electrocuting Crutch to death. Panicking after sensing Jason nearby, Kinza seals the shuttle doors and accidentally launches it too early, crashing it into the ship and destroying their escape route. Cornered by Jason, Rowan and the others are saved when KM-14 arrives with her combat upgrades, unleashing heavy firepower and briefly overpowering Jason. Just as the fight turns against her, Brodsky suddenly attacks from behind, allowing KM to recover while the sergeant blasts Jason's arm off and kicks him back into Lab 1. KM-14 seemingly destroys Jason with heavy gunfire and a final headshot, giving the survivors hope as a rescue ship responds to their distress beacon. However, with the Grendel set to explode before help can arrive, Dr. Rowan and the others plan to seal themselves inside the undamaged section of the ship, while using explosives to detach the failing areas. But inside Lab 1, the ship's nanotechnology system unexpectedly revives and upgrades Jason into the far deadlier Uber Jason. Just after the survivors finish planting the bombs, the enhanced killer attacks again, instantly decapitating KM with a single blow. As chaos erupts, Waylander sacrifices himself to give the others a chance to escape from the unstoppable monster. As the damaged section of the Grendel explodes, the rescue ship Tiamat finally arrives. But Jason survives in space and smashes through the ship again, causing explosive decompression that nearly kills everyone. With the docking gate malfunctioning, Sergeant Brodsky risks his life by going outside in a spacesuit to manually restore power, while Dr. Rowan and Sunaran distract Jason using a virtual simulation of Crystal Lake, complete with fake campers. The plan buys just enough time for Rowan, Sunaran, and KM-14's head to board the Tiamat, while Brodsky sacrifices himself to stop Jason from entering the rescue ship. As the Grendel explodes and both Brodsky and Jason are blasted toward Earth 2's atmosphere, the Sergeant uses Jason as a shield while they burn up together during re-entry. Safe aboard the Tiamat, the survivors finally believe the nightmare is over, but the film ends with two teenagers spotting what they think is a falling star, unaware that it is actually Jason crashing down to Earth once again. Leave a comment telling us which Jason kill was the craziest, and subscribe for more horror movie recaps.